Give me a few minutes of your time and I'll help you deal with imposter syndrome. Now, the advice I'm going to give is based on what I've experienced and how I deal with it. So let's get right into it. First, you need to identify why do you have imposter syndrome. Sometimes it's because you had an ego, or sometimes you have expectations that you needed to pursue but end up not meeting those expectations. Or also, you could have a main character syndrome where you think you're the main character of the story and that other people don't matter. Well, if that's not the case, well, for me, that was the cause of my imposter syndrome. And for a while, since I was a kid, I always thought that I would be something special. And then now I'm 18, I look back and see that I didn't really do anything special in my time. And I think that's the cause of my imposter syndrome. And that could be the cause of yours too, or not, in which case you have to figure it out by yourself. But you can definitely take some advice from this video, since I think most of us teenagers experience things that are mostly the same. So how do you actually deal with that kind of thing? I used to have an ego, and in my mind, it was all about competition, who I think is better. Someone's better than me. I can't accept that, and that's why I turn competitive. Sometimes I hate the other person, and when I don't see myself improving, that's where the imposter syndrome takes in, because sometimes you shouldn't be comparing yourself to others. I think that's the core issue, is that you're comparing yourself to others. You're seeing their highlight while you're still starting. Sometimes we see other people succeed when we are at the beginning. We're still at the start of the race while we see other people already finish the race. And I think that's what life is. No one has a fair start. Sometimes there are a lot of things that are out of our control, and we need to take a step back and realize, what can we do? Like, what can we actually do instead of what we want to happen? And I think the first thing that you need to do is to change your mindset. And for me, what works is that I always thought, I'm learning computer science right now, and I always thought that I need to be the best, but you need to look at yourself and assess where you are at. And it's not easy to realize that you're not really far ahead. And sometimes you have a delusion, or you have the imagination that just because you're kind of improving at the moment, that somehow you're better than others. And that's a wrong way to think about it. And I think the world is about contribution. So you need to learn to communicate with others about what you learn. And in turn, those friends give back what they learn. And it's about community. You improve by sharing with a community, not just by hiding your skill and feeling like you're the best, since you don't show that skill. And I think that having friends that you can rely on, a community you can rely on, you can share your success, and them just listening there, no judgment. I think that's the best kind of community, and that's what I'm trying to build in this channel. So if you have any problems, just comment and I will reply to those comments. Moreover, I think what made me feel miserable is that I was obsessed with those characters in the past, or in the animes, where they're the lone wolves and they're the best. They just kind of show up nonchalant and deal with problems that a lot of people are having a hard time dealing with. But now I get a new perspective that in the times that I am suffering, I'm the only one there, and that's kind of sad. So loneliness kind of also affects imposter syndrome. You need to develop really good connections with other people, so you don't feel behind, and you get a share of what they're improving on, and you get to share what you're improving on. And also, if you're having a hard time communicating with others, it's definitely normal to get rejected or to not be included. But that's the thing, it always happens, and you just need to not take it personally and just keep on moving. Because eventually, the more you try to speak to people, the more you get rejected. But also, those shots sometimes develop you into a better person that enables you to actually communicate better and be accepted to a community. And I know it's not easy to not take it personally, because honestly, rejection hurts, and to just take it in and accept that rejection, but also at the same time, try your best to be friends with other people. Definitely do not be a people pleaser that just kind of makes you a victim of people trying to take advantage of you. Based on experience, that's usually what happens. So definitely do try to talk to many other people, and you'll eventually find people that are like-minded. And just because people don't think the same, I think you should still respect them. But at the same time, if you really are uncomfortable with the way they think, you should definitely stay away. But at the same time, still try to be friendly, because people act based on what they experience. So maybe it's just that they haven't got a taste of reality yet and stuff like that. And also, if you just improve every single day, you put the input every single day, you work and you make it into a habit to actually improve, you're gonna go a long way in a few months, days. And there are going to be days that you don't feel like moving. And when you move at that kind of day, it's kind of a leap of faith that pushes you further. And that's what builds your strength. When you see resistance in yourself and you resist back, that's where improvement actually comes. So appreciate those days, document them, write a journal. And if you have bad days, just look back upon those videos, or journals. Well, for me, it's these kind of videos. But I used to write journals, and I find it fun to actually make videos like this and to just speak my mind rather than writing them, because sometimes I forget about what I write. And yeah, that's how I deal with imposter syndrome, to just kind of keep on going, keep improving every single day, focus on your own path. And just because you're kind of envious or jealous of the other people's success, you can try to reach out to them and try to understand their story and how they got into where they're at. And that's gonna help you in the long run. And yeah, thank you for listening. Bye bye.